Hey there, Happy New Year. It's 2023 and we've got a Kirby game coming out just next month. And HAL Laboratory decided to grace us with some new info on it via website. They updated the website for the game with a ton of new info, which goes over basically all the new features that we should be expecting for this release for Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which actually has quite a lot of stuff in it, starting off with the biggest announcement, the sand ability. I've looked at some gameplay of this. It looks like you can build a sand castle and just do various other sand-based attacks. I was not actually expecting a new copy ability. I thought they'd keep it at one, but looks like we got sand, and there's going to be a new sand enemy. They showed that. They also showed the mecha enemy that gives the mecha ability, and I'm like, wow, hell yeah, that's cool. Two abilities for a remake that's new. We've not had that before, and I think that'll make this feel like a more fresh experience. There's also the Festival ability, which was originally introduced in Kirby Star Allies. That's a cool thing to say, very unexpected. The rest of the news is mostly in regards to the Magalore theme park area. Magalore and theme parks are, I don't know, that's something that's just become associated with the character. So it seems like it's sort of separate from the story mode in its own area. It looks like it has a 3D hub area. And we have 10 mini games, most of which are returning from the series, some of which are fan favorites like Megaton Punch and the block game from Kirby 64 where you destroy blocks on the floor to cause other players to fall. Don't remember the name of it, but it's in here, which is great. I knew people were going to be pretty happy about that since that's one that's brought up as a classic in the series. And then we have the ones from the previous trailer like Samurai Kirby and the top-down one from Squeak Squad. And then we have one returning from Kirby's Return to Dreamland, which is the Samurai game. However, one of the sub-games is not returning from Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and that is Scope Shot, which is the third-person shooter game where you cooperated with other players in order to shoot 3 different robot bosses. And that was a really fun game. Sorry about my voice, I was just having this ridiculously long cold that's lasted over a week. But yeah, that game is not in Return to Dreamland Deluxe, and I'm not entirely sure why. It's a bit weird. They have some games which kind of replicate some of the mechanics of that, like the Quick Draw game is a game where you shoot. That game is returning from Kirby Superstar Ultra, which is pretty awesome. A bit nostalgic to see that in a modern setting. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that that got cut. And it does live on in this game in some form, in that the robot, DDD, is the one who throws the egg in the egg minigame, which returns from Kirby's Adventure. Great to see that return. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that that is cut, but I guess it will give me a reason to return to the original release on Wii. If I want to play that game, that'll be the only way to do it. I don't know, that's a silver lining to the situation, I suppose, but it is a little weird that content is not in the game that was originally. That was not something I was expecting to be cut. As far as things to cut from the game, it's not the biggest deal. I don't like that it's been cut, but I can see why it might have been. Anyway, with this Magalore stuff, we have some other new features that I think are related, which are these masks that you can wear, which have a ton of different options. At first, I thought there was only 4 or a couple, but there's this menu shown where there's a ton of unlockable ones, and they all have. There's like Gooey, Adeline and Ribbon, Marks, Magalore, all these different characters, the animal friends, and you can wear them as any of the characters, King Dedede, Meta Knight, Bandana Waddle Dee, or Kirby, and that's a really unexpected feature, but I think that's fun. It reminds me of the masks they had in DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe. It's a bit similar aesthetically to that, but obviously there's a ton more of them. So that'll be really fun to unlock. There also seems to be stamps that you can unlock. Don't really know what that means, but stamps, that's a good thing. We love our unlockables. And then in terms of other features that are just minor things, there's items you can take with you into levels now, like take in health items. You can also take in the carryable items like the cannon or the bomb that you carry around in Return to Dreamland, and you can spawn them in whenever, I guess, if you have them in your inventory. That's an interesting feature, and as I suspected, based on the gameplay footage that they showed off in the different trailers, the music appears to be exactly the same as the original release, which a part of me, I will say, is slightly disappointed by. I was in the back of my mind hoping for some remixes for the stage music, but it's not there, and it's okay. Don't mind it too much. I can't really complain listening to those original tracks, which haven't aged at all. They're still phenomenal. I'm always a proponent of orchestrated music. It's not like that would have been likely for this, but, you know, there's still room for improvement, I'd say, with these tracks. Not that they're bad at all, but if they had, you know, done even better versions or just alternate versions, that might have been interesting. Maybe have a toggle where you can turn it to the original or remixed versions, just to add some variety to the stages. That would have been a good feature to have. But I will say the art style is continuing to look great. The bold outlines, I still really like those. I know some people did not like them as much as me, and that's fine. But I hope they grow on people, because for me, I think it works really well. And I do feel like they're trying to reference that concept art of the Kirby GCN game. Definitely seems to me like that's the case. And I just think it looks nice. The backgrounds look really good still. They look like they've been redone to look even better than they were. And yeah, it's just very bright, colorful, and lovely. They also released the remastered version of the opening cutscene, which looked really nice. You know, it's pretty much the same thing, but with the new DDD model and updated resolution and the outlines. This was a big news day for the game. You know, lots of big news for this game. I'm really looking forward to it. It really snuck up on me. I was like, the end of the year came and I'm like, oh, when is the Kirby game coming out? Oh, February. Ah, that's very soon. In terms of Kirby releases, I don't expect much from this year other than Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Maybe another weird, unexpected spin-off, but I think it's too early for a follow-up to Forgotten Land or another 2D game. So I'd expect this to be our Kirby game for the year, but God knows how Laboratory has surprised me before with the amount that they are able to create in a short amount of time. So if another game comes out this year, it wouldn't shock me, honestly. I hope we get some games from their other series, like Part-Time UFO or Box Boy or another new IP. That would be great. Hope we get something like that. But otherwise, I'm really happy with this news. Sand Kirby looks unique and fun. And the new mini-games are looking really fun, although it is weird they cut out Scope Shot. Not super pleased about that. Highly anticipating this title, and you know, it's very close, which is nice. It's very, very nice to have a Kirby game so close to the beginning of the year. It will start off the year rather nicely, I would say. Cool.